It's Park Ranger Helen Overman, and welcome to Kinder Farm Park. Here at Kinder Farm Park, we focus on farming. The history that we have here is that Gustav Kinder and his younger brother Henry Kinder bought several parcels of land to start a farming business. The farming business started off as truck farming. What truck farming is, they would grow various fruits and vegetables and then load it into trucks. Started off as actually horse-drawn carriages, and then later, of course, mechanical trucks. And they would take it to the closest local city, which would be Baltimore City. Eventually, in the 1940s, due to the invention of refrigerated trucks and also refrigerated railroad carts, that became obsolete. And larger farms in southern Maryland were able to much more mass produce those fruits and vegetables to sell to the Baltimore City.
I was born in Long Beach, California. My father at the time was a naval officer on the USS Pennsylvania, which was anchored out in the roads off of Long Beach. Well, the water was pretty nice in those days. We had, in fact, one summer I remember getting in with one of the people that came down here in the summer. We had a trout line, and we did a lot of crabbing. In those days, you could get a bushel of crabs in a couple of hours, and we sold the crabs.
This is our blacksmith forge. It's run by the Chesapeake Forge Blacksmithing Shop. Here you can see a 100-year-old trade in action on Sundays from 1 till 4 p.m. The hammer is simply not a hammer to the blacksmith. The hammer comes in various weights and shapes that help them pound the metal into their desired design.
The way that the forges work is we have a fire pot in there. It's basically an inverted pyramid, and we blow air up through it. And then the ash from the burnt coal fall down into the bottom. There's a can underneath called a tweer, and that gets emptied periodically so that we can maintain airflow. Two of our forges have hand-cranked bellows or blowers, and two of them are electric. A couple of us prefer the hand-cranked ones because it's kind of a zen moment. You sit there with one hand and then you hammer with the other hand, and you get into this whole rhythm and you just kind of lose yourself in the work.
So when you have a wheel that big, that deep, and then you add in there the V-bow, when you're pushing a barge, if you're getting in the high 4s, low 5s, like, congratulations. There's some guys that spend $500,000 or, 1.25 million, on a tugboat to push their barge around the bay and get around 5 knots. And when they do that, we did it, success. And this is where the gratitude and knowing what you got and how you got it, and I don't know if it'll ever wear off, the fact. It's like Christmas every day.
Hello, I'm Reverend Ernest Demby. I'm here at this magical place on the Magothy River called Beechwood Park. This is where black children could play on the beach and swim while their families cooked out and listened to famous singers like James Brown and Ike and Tina Turner. This place called Beechwood Park had a Ferris wheel and other rides. There were swimsuit contests, judged by famous people like Joe Louis, heavyweight champion of the world, and Paul Robeson, famous actor and singer. The river was also used for baptism, even when the water was closed.
For amusement park across the street, I was happy. The amusement wasn't free, but beach privileges we had. In other words, we could go into the beach and we didn't have to pay a charge. People drank and partied and danced and did it all in there. I remember James Brown coming. I remember Maxine Brown. I remember the Blue Lights. I knew, oh, Chubby Checker, yeah.
Like Little Richard would be there also.
Yeah.
Little Richard would be there, the Starlights. They even had the Four Tops that was there.
Little did I know, they were talking about going down to the Beechwood Park where they were baptizing people. I went down to the beach. They baptized me in Jesus' name, and my spiritual journey began. That was over 40 years ago.